they played with more confidence. And if it wasn't for Ramsdale, they'd have won the game. But it's a little concern for Arsenal, I think, in that from such a commanding position, they've dropped deep. They've stopped playing their normal football. And although Liverpool were good, they've allowed them onto them. You know, they didn't change quickly enough. I thought you could see it coming, and they still didn't change. Kept the same person and should have made subs quicker and tweaked it. Did change near the end, went 3 at the back. But I thought he could have done something earlier to try and stop that flow of attacks.
It is the first time since October 2019 that Arsenal have been 2 goals up in a Premier League game and not gone on to win it. They take a point away from Merseyside. An extraordinary weekend all round, wherever you look. So many stories, and we didn't think Sunday could follow Saturday, but I think it's taken it to another level. It all began with wins for United, Arsenal, Newcastle, crucial ones for West Ham, Bournemouth and Spurs. Frank Lampard's return to Chelsea was a losing one. City's 4-goal show. Crystal Palace scoring 5 goals away from home in the Premier League for just the 2nd time in their history earlier on, having been 1 down at Leeds to win 5-1 in that crucial game at the bottom. And you could watch that 2-2 draw between Liverpool and Arsenal with the Salah missed penalty over and over again. Talk about an edge-of-your-seat game. That was it at Anfield. So after that first game of the day, Palace are the big climbers. 33 points, 6 clear of the drop zone, having played 30 games. Leeds remain 2 points above the bottom 3. Only West Ham in the bottom half now have a game in hand. Well, Manchester City probably would have enjoyed that game as well as Liverpool, because the gap is 6 points. City have a game in hand. They have a better goal difference, and they still have to welcome Arsenal to the Etihad. So if City win every single game, and they've got 9 left to play, then of course they will be champions. Liverpool in the top 8 still, 44 points, just 1 clear of Brentford, having played a game less.
You're under massive pressure at the end there. Does that feel like a point saved or 2 points dropped?
Bit of both. We managed to dig in at the end, but you know, we had some good chances and we come to Anfield and played really well, but had to survive as well. So I think right now it'll be mixed emotions, but I think over the next few days it'll definitely be a very good point.
Even in the context of the title, does it not feel like 2 points dropped? You led for over an hour.
Yeah, maybe, but I've just walked off the pitch and we've just been under pressure for 32 minutes, 35 minutes, whatever it was, and we've managed to get a point away at Anfield, and they're a top side, crowd get right behind them, so it might be 2 points dropped, but we could have dropped all of them as well at the same time.
It was relentless, the pressure, but you two made several magnificent saves, particularly the one from Salah, which got a nick as well on the way through. Yeah, that's what I'm there to do, and I've enjoyed playing today. You know, there's no better games to be playing in than these, which means so much for both teams, and unfortunately we couldn't get the 3 points, but at least my saves have helped us out. How much did you feel as well that your side acquitted themselves mentally? Because you knew about the record before you came here today. Yeah, I thought we were excellent. I don't think we showed anything about sort of previous games against them. I think the last time we came here in the Carabao Cup we drew 0-0. So we have had some sort of performances here, but yeah, I think for 50 minutes, 60 minutes, I thought we were very good, and then I thought we defended really well, but got unlocked by 2 goals. Ultimately, will only time tell what this point means today? Absolutely. Now we've got to just go back in and work hard every day and build again. But 1 point is a lot better than none, and it's another point on the board, and we'll see where we go from there. And is it hugely important as well that mentally you see the positivity in the point rather than the 2 points gone? Absolutely, and that's what the manager will be saying. The manager's hugely positive, and you know, we'll come here, we'll digest it over the next few days, and we'll definitely be showing all the good stuff which we did in the first half to get 2-0 up. Well, you played your part. You were the player of the match, Aaron. Well played today. Cheers, Jeff. Thanks, man. Cheers, Pat.
How good was he, Tony?
Magnificent. Absolutely magnificent. The saves that he made was incredible, especially the one in the top right-hand corner. Phenomenal.
The one-on-one as well with Nunes.
Brilliant, yeah. It's phenomenal. Absolutely. He's got us a point today.
You think it's a point gained?
I think it's a point gained today. Liverpool up their game in the last 30 minutes. There's not many teams in the world can actually sustain that amount of pressure in the Anfield roar behind you. That was hard going, but the goalkeeper was brilliant for us today.
Do you think it's a point gained?
Yeah. I think now looking at the overall performance, I was amazed in the second half when Liverpool was so dominant why they didn't go to a 5 earlier or even a normal back four. Zinchenko and Gabriel arguing with each other, who's picking up Salah, crossing over, they were all over the place. And that's something they'll have to learn from because they've got City away and Newcastle away coming up. And that confusion between those two could cost them later in the season against the better opposition. But they got away with it today, second half. There were good signs first half and some good counters second. But, that defensive confusion in the second half was a worry for Arsenal.
Well, the atmosphere sounded sensational at Anfield. Let's go to our man at the ground, and Arsenal invincible, Ray Parlour. Tell us, first of all, what that was like to watch inside the stadium, Ray.
Well, certainly from my point of view, it's very nerve-wracking, especially in that second half. I mean, you expected a little bit of a run from Liverpool. That goal in the first half was so important for Liverpool to get them back into the game, and the roar in the second half was amazing. It really was. When that second goal went in, I thought, that's it, we're going to lose the game now. But fair play, as Tony says there, Ramsdale was superb, absolutely brilliant today. And you always need a good goalkeeper if you've got any chance of winning the league. Tony will tell you that with some of the goalkeepers he played with. So, nerve-wracking, but I think it was probably a fair result in the end. Point gained, it's another point on the board. It's always going to be a tricky game. The record is not great here for Arsenal, so a point gained, I should imagine. But they still will be disappointed because they were leading 2-0. And I think Mikel Arteta will be more disappointed with the first goal. If you go in at 2-0, I think the game is a lot more difficult for Liverpool in that second half.
First things first, Ray, have you got your club blazer on underneath that coat?
I've got a blazer on, Tone. That's for when I go out later. But, it's I don't think I'll be going out in Liverpool later.
Hey, talk me through Martinelli today.
Yeah, I mean, he was different class. I thought that was always going to be where they could get a little bit of joy down that left. We know Trent is brilliant going forward. What he done for the goal, the equaliser was superb, going around Zinchenko. But he's a bit vulnerable defensively. He does get caught out of position, and I thought Martinelli took advantage of that. They got a little bit luck on the first goal, Tone. It was, they got a few ricochets, and Van Dijk didn't really clear his lines, and he got a little toe poke on it. But the second goal was brilliant. Absolutely, he picked him out, Jesus. Great header. So Martinelli's a live wire. We all know that. He can run at players. And when you've got a fullback who wants to go forward more than defend, I think he sometimes has a field day.
Ray, stay there. We'll be back to plenty of times in the next 45 minutes or so. Do you think, as Aaron Ramsdale was saying there, Danny, in the cold light of day, they probably think we were 2-0 up at Anfield, but actually the way the second half went, who knows in time how important that point could be?
Yeah, definitely. I think you've got to try and take the positives from it. They'll probably do a post-match meeting where they'll have a look at the pros and the cons. And the key is when you have a performance like that, from being 2-0 up and losing a lead, is how did you lose it and can we improve on that next time? If they were to go to City and score first, what can they do differently? Can you manage the game better second half? Can you do some? Can you play longer earlier? Can you tweak the foot? Whatever it is, you're learning from that because there were some positives from the game, but the second half was where I think Arteta will look at it and the players and think maybe we could have managed it better. I mean, that's not to take away from Liverpool, as Tony did allude to. They were much better with their quality and their intensity, but I think Arsenal helped them. I do. I think they'll look back over in a cold light of day. They'll look back and they'll, hopefully, I think, for Arsenal's point of view, learn something.
I think
lead 2-1 at half-time at Anfield. You saw the temperatures rising. Andy Robertson was shown the yellow card after the half-time whistle. So both Liverpool fullbacks on a booking now. Goodness me, where do we start? Well, we talked about one of the matchups, which was Alexander-Arnold against Martinelli. And Liverpool got a warning inside the first 60 seconds, Tony.
First 60 seconds, we predicted this. 1v1 with Trent. Walks past him. Absolutely walks past him. Poor defending. Chance straight away. Arsenal started very bright. And like we said, Martinelli. This is Saka again, driving. And Martinelli this time's come off the side. Trent's actually gone and followed him, but he's not been able. Martinelli's absolutely on fire here.
Yeah, his confidence is up. I think Liverpool, the touch didn't help Liverpool from Van Dijk, but look at his close footwork there, just to nick it at Robinson and before Alex. It's brilliant from Martinelli. He started the game tremendously well and causing Trent all sorts of problems.
7 goals in 8 games for Gabriel Martinelli, and same area of the pitch here.
Straight again. I don't know what Trent's doing again. He's got a great ball down the side, massive hole, but he stood it up and Jesus is pulled off the shoulder. Great centre-forward play, poor defending play.
He's got him there, Tony, and he's got him.
Trent's got him, yeah. Trent's got him, and Xhaka's put a great ball in, but his positioning's all over the place, Trent. And then Jesus is pulled off of the back shoulder of Van Dijk. And the ball and player, for a central defender, you have to look at the ball and your player. He's not marking him at all. Jesus, good header down, good centre-forward header.
Although there's so much good in that from Arsenal, technically, and, you know, to score that second goal particularly, the mistakes from Liverpool to concede that are so basic. It really is. You know, you're a fullback with your man in front of you, you switch off and he runs in behind you. And then your centre-half's out there too late, and the other one comes across and you're done on the back stop. It's such simplistic stuff.
I think it's confused him, hasn't he? I think the manager's confused him. He played Gomez against Chelsea and they kept a clean sheet. And now today he's popping in, he's trying to play him in midfield. Is he playing midfield or is he playing right back? The kid don't know what he's doing, Trent. No.
And you noticed, even before the game, the previous fixture...
10 weeks from today, somebody somewhere will lift the Premier League trophy, and it just might be Arsenal. 10 weeks from today, there will be 3 teams in tears, and one of them just might be Crystal Palace. 11 games to go, and here's the first of them. Saka's twisting. Gabriel Martinelli is scoring for Arsenal! What an effervescent star he is! One step, one little step closer.
I was about to credit Crystal Palace to how few chances they presented to Arsenal. But then, at the back post, a moment of brilliance from Martinelli to fire the ball past Joe Whitworth, who can't get anywhere near it. He just gets the first touch, then shifts it onto that left foot, drills it far post, past Whitworth, who can do absolutely nothing about it. But this is how dangerous this Arsenal team are. They've just got players all over the pitch that in a moment can punish you.
Nicked away from Ødegaard, retrieved by Saka. Ben White, Bukayo Saka! Over and over and over again. Relentlessly beautiful Arsenal football. And Saka's seamless smile just grows.
I'll have to say, Mikel Arteta's applauding. I was applauding in my seat as well, because this is just delightful football from Arsenal. They didn't quite get the finish that it deserved first time out, but it got it the second time. The ball from Ben White in behind Zaha to Saka, and the finish from Saka is just delightful.
Zinchenko, Xhaka, Trossard, Xhaka! Oh boy, that is silky smooth. Right now, Arsenal are doing it like no one else. If they were throwing shadows, Palace would be chasing them.
Just scintillating football from Arsenal. The movement from Xhaka, the interplay with Trossard, the movement again from Xhaka, the weight of pass from Trossard. It's just perfect. He doesn't have to break his stride. Puts it into the goal under pressure from Joel Ward. And I think that's game, set and match.
Jesus. Elise made an intervention. It came back to Tierney. And Saka. There ain't no stopping him now. Revelling in every glorious Gunners moment.
There's the difference of being clinical one end to the other. Will Hughes struggling to clear the ball, and it falls to Tierney, and then he delivers a lovely ball into the box. Saka wraps his foot round it, and Whitworth stands no chance again. He hasn't had a chance with any of the strikes from the Arsenal players.
And now there are 10 games to play, and now the lead is 8 points. And Arsenal and Arteta labour now to keep their emotions in check, because week on week, game on game, goal on splendid goal for Arsenal Football Club. Palace have snags, more than snags. At times they looked a little bereft today. Martinelli, Saka, Xhaka and Saka again. The Gunners just great, Rebecca. and winners over Palace by 4 goals to 1.